Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study yes, no question and short answers. Okay, let's get started. Yes, no questions and short answers. Okay, does Martha look happy? Does Martha look happy? No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Martha doesn't look happy. No, she doesn't. It is short answer. Martha doesn't look happy. It's a long answer. Okay, yes, no question. Okay, do you like apples? Do you like apples? Short answer, yes, I do. No, I don't. Long answer, do you like apples? Yes, I like apples. No, I don't like apples. No, I don't like apples. It's a long answer. Did he arrive? Did he arrive? Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Did he arrive? Yes, he arrived. No, he didn't arrive. Okay. Have you seen Jim? Have you seen Jim? Short answer, yes, I have. No, I haven't. Have you seen Jim? Yes, I have seen Jim. Long answer, yes, I have seen Jim. Okay? Have you seen Jim? No, I haven't seen Jim. No, I haven't seen Jim. Okay. Is it sunny? Yes, it is. Is it sunny? No, it isn't. Is it sunny? Yes, it's sunny. Is it sunny? No, it isn't sunny. Okay. Will he go with us? Yes, he will. Will he go with us? No, he won't. Will he go with us? Yes, he will go. Will he go with us? No, he won't go. Yes, no question can be answered yes or no. Okay? Yes, no question can be answered yes or no. Okay, correct. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. It's bad. Okay? Yes, I have. It's correct. Yes, I've. It's incorrect. Okay? Yes, it is. Yes, it's. Yes, it's incorrect. Okay? Yes, it is. It's correct. Yes, he will. It's correct. Yes, he healed. It's incorrect. Affirmative short answer helping verb is not contracted. Is not contracted. Affirmative short answer helping verb is not contracted. Yes, no question. Short answer, long answer. Yes, I have been to Croatia. Okay, I have been to Croatia. Yes, no question. Have you been to Croatia? Have you been to Croatia? Short answer. Yes, I have. Okay. Yes, I have. Yes, I have been to Croatia. Yes, I have been to Croatia. Okay. Yes, no question. No turtles. Okay. Turtles can't run. No turtle can't run. Okay. Can turtle run? Can turtle run? Short answer. Short answer. Yes or no. Yes or no. They can't. Okay. No, they can't. No, they can't. No turtle can't run. Yes, no question. Yes, I've been skydiving. Skydiving. Yes, I've been skydiving. Yes, I've been skydiving. Have you been? Question. Yes, no question. Have you been skydiving? Have you been skydiving? Short answer. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study yes, no, and information questions. Yes, no information question. Whose old track is that? whose old chalk. Okay, whose old chalk is that? Are you going to college? Are you going to college? Yes, no question can be answered yes or no. Are you going to college? Yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Okay. Where are you going to college? Where are you going to college? Information question: where, when, why, who, whom, okay, what, which, whose, how, okay. Does he work in Beijing? Does he work in Beijing? Does he work in Beijing? Yes, no question. Okay, helping verb does, subject he, main verb work. Okay, rest of sentences in Beijing. Does he work in Beijing? Yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. Okay, where does he work? Repeat after me. Where does he work? Where does he work? Information question. Where does he work? In Beijing. Okay. Question. Are you working at home? Are you working at home? Are you working at home? Yes, I am, or no, I'm not. Okay. Where are you working? Where are you working? At home. Okay. Will they visit soon? Will they visit soon? Yes, they will, or no, they won't. Okay. When will they visit? When will they visit? Soon. Okay. The answer is soon. When will they visit? Soon. Did Jack see Jim? Did Jack see Jill? Yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Okay. Whom or who did Jack see? Who did Jack see? Jill. Helping verb plus subject plus main verb. Helping verb plus subject plus main verb. Okay, question. Are you at the gym? Are you at the gym? Where are you? Where are you? The answer is at the gym. Where are you? Main verb be. Simple present, simple past. Main verb be, simple present, simple past. Helping, position are. Okay. Who went with you? Who went with you? What was wrong? What was wrong? Subject, question word. Question word. Okay. Who, what? Okay. Subject, who, what? Okay. Subject, question word. Do is not used. Okay. What went? What was wrong? Or who went with you? Subject, question word. Do is not used. Information question. Joanna lives in Santiago, Chile. Joanna lives in Santiago, Chile. Information question. Answer. Joanna lives in Santiago, Chile. Where did Joanna live? Where did Joanna live? Joanna lives in Santiago, Chile. Okay. Joanna has lived in Santiago for 6 years. Joanna has lived in Santiago for 6 years. Has or how long had Joanna lived there? How long had Joanna lived there? Six for 6 years. Joanna's friends live with her. Joanna's friends lives with her. Who lives with her? Who live with her? Who live with her? Joanna's friends lives with her. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study where, why, when, what time, what for, and how come. Okay, what time? What time is our meeting? What time is our meeting? Okay, where did you go? Question answer. Where did you go? Where did you go? Vancouver. Short answer. Where did you go? Vancouver. Where? Place. Okay. We use where for a place. Okay. A place, a country, a city. Okay. It's a place. Okay. Okay. When did you get there? 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 70:30. Last Monday. Five hours ago. When did you get there? 70. Okay. 7:30. Last Monday. 5 hours ago. When means anytime. Okay. Anytime expression. Anytime expressions. What time did you go? What time did you go? What time did you go? 6:15. Around noon. A quarter. A quarter to two. What time? On the clock. Why did you go there? Why did you go there? Because my parents live there. Because my parents live there. Why? We use why for reason. Okay, for reason. Why did you go there? Because my parents live there. Okay. What did he stop for? What did he stop for? How come he stopped? How come he stopped? What for or how come? Why means why. Okay, question. I'll study this evening. I'll study this evening. When will you study? Okay, when are you going to study? When are you going to study? I'll study this evening. I'm going to study geometry. I'm going to study geometry. What are you going to study? Okay, what are you going to study? I'm going to study geometry. Why? I'm going to study geometry because I have a test tomorrow. I'm going to study geometry because I have a test tomorrow. Why are you going to study? Okay, geometry. Okay, why are you going to study geometry? I'm going to study geometry because I have a test tomorrow. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study question with who, whom, and what. What book? Something book. What book? Something book. Question. Who spoke? Someone spoke. Who or whom did you hear? Did you hear? Who did you hear? I heard Miss Adam. Who? Subject. We use who for a subject. We use whom for a object. Okay, for an object. Formal English. Okay. Who book? Who book? Something book. What did you break? What did you break? I book something. I book something. What? Subject or a object. We use what for a subject or a object. Okay, who spoke? Someone spoke. Who book? Something book. Okay, who book? Who spoke? Someone spoke. What book? Something book. Who what? Subject. Okay, subject do not use. Correct? Who sang? Who sang? Incorrect? Who did sing? Okay? Who did sing? It's incorrect. Correct? Who sang? Okay, who, whom, what? Question. Did you learn? We learned something. We learned something. What did you learn? Okay, what did you learn? We learned something. Is at the door. Rodrigo is at the door. Okay, who is at the door? Okay, who is at the door? Rodrigo is at the door. Okay, question. With do you wish to speak for more? I will. Okay, I wish to speak with Dr. Poro. I wish to speak with Dr. Poro. With who or whom do you wish to speak? With whom do you wish to speak? I wish to speak with Dr. Poro. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using what plus a form of do. What do you do in science class? What do you do in science class? What do you do in science class? What does Farah do every evening? He prepares dinner. What did Ami do last weekend? What did Ami do last weekend? She went swimming. She went swimming. What is Ami doing now? What is Ami doing now? She is reading. She is reading. Okay, what are you going to do this week? What are you going to do this week? I'm going to study. What do you want to do tomorrow? What do you want to do tomorrow? I want to go bowling. What would you like to do now? What would he like to do now? He would like to eat. 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 What plus form of do? Questions about activities. Okay, what plus form of do? Questions about activities. Okay, am doing, will do, are going to do, did. Okay, let's practice right now. They're dancing. They're dancing. What are they going? Okay, what are doing right now? What are they doing right now? They're dancing. Okay, my brothers want to play volleyball this afternoon. My brothers want to play volleyball this afternoon. What do your brothers want to do this afternoon? My brothers want to play volleyball this afternoon. This dirty then. She should wash. She should wash it. What should she do about this dirty then? What should she do about this dirty then? She would wash it. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using which and what kind of. What kind of? Which pens do you want? Which pencil? I'm sorry. Which pencil do you want? What would you check? Would you like? Would you check my answer? Would you check my answer? Sure. Which one do you want me to check? Which one do you want me to check? Choice. Which? What? We use which for a choice. Okay? For a choice. Which? What? Not what. Okay? Which? Ami, I love to travel. Which cities do you like to visit? I love to travel. Which cities do you like to travel? Which? Singular noun. Which? Plural nouns. We use which for singular noun, for plural nouns. This is a photo of my family. This is a photo of my family. How nice. Which one is Shauna? Which one is Shauna? Which people? What did you get for your birthday? What did you get for birthday? What? Not a choice. Not a choice from a group. What kind of shirt do you need? What kind of shirt do you need? T-shirt, sports shirt, dress shirt, formal shirt. Okay. General category. General category. Okay. What kind of? What kind of? Specific type. We use what kind of for a specific type. What kind of vegetables do you like? Carrots, cabbage, corn, onions, cucumbers, okay, eggplant, garlic, peppers, general category, okay. What kind of? Specific type. We use what kind of for a specific type. Okay, let's practice. What or which? I like that 10 one. I like that 10 one. Okay, which horses do you like? Which horse do you like? I like that 10 one. What or which? I would like some pills for my birthday. I would like some pill for my birthday. What would you like for your birthday? What would you like for your birthday? I would like some pills for my birthday. What or which? I think that the lion is more dangerous than the turtle. Turtle, lion. What or which? Which do you think is more dangerous? Which do you think is more dangerous? Lion. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi. Hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using whose. Whose keys are these? Repeat after me. Whose keys are these? Okay. Whose heart is this? It's the recruits. It's the recruits. Okay. Whose shoes are these? They're mine. Or they're my shoes. Whose shoes are these? They're mine. They're my shoes. Whose phone did you use? I use Evelyn's phone. Whose possession? We use whose for possession. Who's that? Who's that? Zoe Thompson. Whose birthday cake is that? It's Zoe's cake. Whose? Who plus is. Whose? Whose possession? Same sound, same pronunciation. Whose? Who plus is. Whose possession? Whose or whose? Harry. Harry is going to write the dark one. Harry is going to write the dark one. Whose? First whose or second whose? Who's going to write the dark one? Harry. Harry. This is Misha's suitcase. Whose? First whose? Whose suitcase is this? This is Misha's suitcase. Her father is driving Rachel to school. Her father is driving Rachel to school. Okay, who? Second who's driving Rachel to school? Who's driving Rachel to school? Her father. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using how. How was the beach? Repeat after me. How was the beach? Question. How did you get home? I drove or by car. How did you get home? I drove or by car. How did you get home? I took a taxi or by taxi. I took a bus by bus. I flew. How did you get home? I flew or by plane. I took a train by train. I walked or by foot. I walked. How did you get home? I walked. I walked or by foot. How many uses? Okay. Many uses. How? Asks about transportation. Okay. How many uses? Talk about transportation. How are you? How are you? I'm sorry, not how are you. How old are you? How old are you? 33. How tall is she? About 2 meters. How big is your van? It seats 11. How tired are you? How tired are you? Not very tired. How thirsty are you? I'm very thirsty. How soon will they be ready? In about 1 hour. How well does he speak Udi? Not very well. How quickly can you finish? I can finish by 3 o'clock. How? Adjectives. How? Adjective. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using how often. Okay, using how often. How often do you eat sushi? Repeat after me. How often do you eat sushi? Okay, question. How often do you eat out? Every day? Once a week? About 3 times a week? Every other day or so? 2 times a month? Once a month? How often means frequent, okay? Frequency. How often means frequency. How many times a day do you eat meat? How many times a day do you eat meat? Once. How many times a week do you play tennis? How many times a week do you play tennis? Maybe once. How many times a month do you wash your car? How many times a year do you visit your dad? How often means how many times. How many times a day? How many times a week? How many times a month? How many times a year? Let's practice. How often? How many times? I go to the doctor about twice. About twice a year. How often do you go to the doctor? 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 How many times a year do you go to the doctor? I go to the doctor about twice. About twice a year. How often? How many times? They go to a party about once a month. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study how often. How often, not often, often. How often do you eat sushi? Repeat after me. How often do you eat sushi? Okay. Question answer. How often do you eat out every day? Okay. How often do you eat out every day? How often do you eat out once a week? How often do you eat out? About 3 times a week. How often do you eat out? Every other day or so. How often do you eat out? 2 times a month. How often do you eat out? Once a month. How often means frequency. Okay? How often means frequency. Okay, question. How many times a day do you eat meat? Once. How many times a week do you play tennis? Maybe once. How many times a month do you wash your car? Maybe one. How many times a year do you visit your dad? Often. How often means how many times. How many times a day? How many times a week? How many times a month? How many times a year? Let's practice. How often? How many times? I go to the doctor about twice a year. How many times? How often do you go to the doctor? How often do you go to the doctor? I go to the doctor about twice a year. How many times? How many times do you go to the doctor? How many times a year do you go to the doctor? How many times a year do you go to the doctor? How often? How many times? They go to a party about once a month. They go to a party about once a month. Okay, how often do they go to a party? How often do they go to a party? Once a month. How many times do they go to a party? Once a month. How many times a month do they go to a party? How many times a month do they go to a party? Okay, once a month. How often? How many times? She sees her family every Sunday. She sees her family every Sunday. How often does she see her family? How often does she see her family? Every Sunday. How many times? How many times? How many times a week does she see her family? Every Sunday. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study using how far. Okay, how far is it to the Eiffel Tower? How far is it to the Eiffel Tower? Is it 4,611 kilometers from Ottawa to Vancouver? It is 4,611 kilometers from Ottawa to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Ottawa, to Vancouver from Ottawa, to Ottawa from Vancouver. Same meaning. It's it is plus distance plus from to plus to from. Most common. How far is it from Ottawa to Vancouver? 4,611 kilometers. How far do you live from your job? About 3 miles. 1 miles equal 1.6 kilometers. 1.6 kilometers. 1 kilometers equal that 614 mile. How far? How far means distance. Okay, distance. How far means distance. How many miles is it from Chicago to Dallas? How many kilometers is it from Paris to Rome? How many blocks? How many blocks is it to the supermarket? How far means how many miles. How far means how many kilometers. How far means how many blocks. How many blocks. Let's practice. How far? How many miles? Okay, 228 miles. It's 228 miles from Orlando to Miami. How far is it from Orlando to Miami? It's 228 miles from Orlando to Miami. How many miles is it from Orlando to Miami? It's 228 miles from Orlando to Miami. How far? How many kilometers? How far? How many kilometers? 320 kilometers. It's 320 kilometers from Ankara to Istanbul. How far is it from Ankara to Istanbul? It's 320 kilometers from Ankara to Istanbul. How many kilometers is it from Ankara to Istanbul? It's 320 kilometers. How far? How many blocks? 8 blocks. It's 8 blocks to the hardware store. How far is it to the hardware store? How many blocks is it to the hardware store? It's 8 blocks to the hardware store. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study length of time. Length of time, it plus take and how long. How long does it take to cook a turkey? Repeat after me. How long does it take to cook a turkey? It plus take plus someone plus length plus infinitive of time. It takes 4 hours to cook a turkey. It takes 4 hours to cook a turkey. It took Lena 10 minutes to make dinner. It plus take use with time words plus infinitive means length of time. Length of time, a duration of time. Length of time. It plus take use with time words plus infinitive. Length of time. An infinitive, to plus simple form of verb. It took Lena 10 minutes to make dinner. It took Lena 10 minutes to make dinner. How long does it take to cook a turkey? Answer, 4 hours. How long did it take? Did it take Abe to run home? 5 minutes. How long did you read last summer? I'm sorry. How long did you read last night? I'm sorry. How long did you read last night? 45 minutes. How long will you be on vacation? How long will you be on vacation? 2 weeks. How long means length of time. Length of time means duration of time. How long means length of time. How many weeks will you be on vacation? 2. How many plus minutes, hours, days, weeks, month, years. Eat plus take. Let's practice. Mitchell Richard, road to work. Length of time, 30 minutes. It took Mr. Richard 30 minutes to ride to work. The truck got very rusty. Length of time, 25 years. It took the truck 25 years to get very rusty. Eat plus take. We drive from home to town. Length of time, 5 minutes. Okay, it takes it take us 5 minutes to drive from home to town. It takes us 5 minutes to drive from home to town. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study spoken and written contraction with question words. What's that? Repeat after me. What's that? Spoken only. Okay, is. When's he leaving? What are okay they doing? What are they doing? What are? When's the plane leave? When the plane leave? When the plane leave? Who's left? Where you been? Where you been? Have where you been? Where you been? Will you be? Will you be? Contraction. Will you be? Will. Mhm. Well, okay. Will you be? Will you be? Contracted in speaking, usually not written. Spoken only. What do you want? What do you want? What ja? What ja? What ja want? What ja want? Spoken only. What ja want? What ya want? What are you doing? What ya doing? What ya doing? Spoken only. What ya? What ya doing? Where's the cat? What's that? Who is he? Written. Only contraction with where, what, or who. Usually only for informal, okay? Informal written. I'm sorry. Informal writing, okay? Informal writing, okay? Usually only for informal writing. Who's that person? Who is that person? Who's that person? Who's that person? What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? What do you do yesterday? What you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? Eh? Spoken English. What you do yesterday? Not what did you do? Spoken English. What did you do yesterday? What you do yesterday? Okay. Who will you see at school tomorrow? 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 Will you see at school tomorrow? Will you see at school tomorrow? Say, will you see at school tomorrow? Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study more question with how. Okay, how is it going? Terrible. I'm so worried about my test. How's it going? Terrible. I'm so worried. I'm so worried about my test. Okay, how do you spell ethought? Ethought, E F-F-O-R-T or E-F-F-O-R-T. How do you say no in Russian? Нет. To answer, spell the word. How do you say? How do you pronounce this word? How do you pronounce this word? To answer, spell the word. Spell the word. Spell the word. Say the word. Pronounce the word. How are you getting? How are you getting, Elon? How are you doing? How is it going? Answer. Great. Great. Fine. Okay. So. Okay. How are you getting along? Great. How are you doing? Fine. How are you doing? Okay. How's it going? So. How is your life? Is your life okay? Do you have any problems? Or is your life? Is your life okay? Do you have any problems? Greetings. Hi, Pat. How's it going? How do you feel? How are you feeling? Health. General emotional state. Terrific. How do you feel? Terrific. How do you feel? Wonderful. How do you feel? Great. How do you feel? Fine. How are you feeling? Okay. How are you feeling? So. A bit under the weather. A bit under the weather. How do you feel? Terrible. How do you feel? Lousy. How do you feel? Harmful. How do you do? How do you do? Formal introduction. How do you do? It's a formal introduction. I spell it great. How do you spell great? How do you spell great? I spell it. I spell it. Great. Alegre means happy in Spanish. How do you say happy in Spanish? Alegre. Let's practice. A bit under the weather. How do you feel? A bit under the weather. A bit under the weather. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. How are you feeling? Okay, let's get started. Hello, how are you? We are going to study today using how about, and what about. How about joining our study group? We need something to drink with dinner. How about iced tea? We need something to drink with dinner. What about iced tea? We need something to drink with dinner. Okay, what time should we serve the soup? How about 7:30? What time should we serve the soup? How about 7:30? What about 7:30? What do you want to do this weekend? What do you want to do this weekend? How about going to a museum? How about going to a museum? What about going to a museum? How about inviting Edith to join us? What about inviting Edith to join us? That sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea. How about high tea? How about 7:30? How about going to a museum? How about inviting Edith to join us? What about high tea? What about 7:30? What about going to a museum? What about inviting Edith to join us? How about? What about? Suggestion or offers. Okay, we use how about, what about for suggestion or offers, plus noun or ing form of verb. I'm worried. I'm worried. How about you? I'm worried. How about you? I'm not worried. We have time to study. We have time to study. Are you worried? Are you worried? No. What about you? I'm very worried. How about you? How about you? What about you? Question about preceding information. How about you? What about you? Okay. When do you want to go on vacation? Let's practice. When do you want to go on vacation? What about you? What about May 6th? What about May? What about May 6th? How about you? How about May 6th? What time shall we leave? What time shall we leave? What about? What about 5 o'clock? How about? How about 5 o'clock? We need a new house. What about? How about? It is for sale. What about this house? It's for sale. How about? How about this house? It is for sale. It is for sale. Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class. Hi, hello, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to study tag questions. Okay, repeat after me. Tag questions. Sydney is okay. Isn't in Africa? Is it? Tennis is fun, isn't it? She didn't study, did she? There enough coffee, isn't there? I'm not passing the class. Am I? I'm not too early, aren't I? Tag question. End of sentence. Uses auxiliary verb. Affirmative plus. You play tennis. Negative. Don't you? You play tennis. Don't you? Loni is a doctor, isn't she? Affirmative main verb. Negative take question. Okay, you play tennis. Lenny is a doctor. Affirmative. Okay, take question negative. Okay, negative. Negative take question. You don't play golf. Negative. You don't play golf. Affirmative. Do you? Lenny isn't a lawyer. Is she? Negative main verb. Okay, you don't play golf. Lenny isn't a lawyer. Negative. Okay, affirmative take question. You play tennis, don't you? Expected answer. Yes. Loni is a doctor, isn't she? Yes. You don't play golf, do you? You don't play golf, do you? No. Loni isn't a lawyer, is she? No. Expected or expected answer agrees with main verb. Okay? Speaker's ID. I'm not sure if this is expensive. This is expensive, isn't it? This is expensive, isn't it? This is expensive, isn't it? Checking to see if information is correct. Rising intonation. Speaker's ID. I think that dancing is fun. I think it does. It does too. Dancing is fun, isn't it? Dancing is fun, isn't it? Seeking agreement. Finding intonation. Dancing is fun, isn't it? Isn't it? Falling intonation. Compared to yes no question. To yes no question. Is dancing fun? Yes, it is. Or no, it isn't. The speaker has no idea. They are happy. Aren't they or isn't they or they? Aren't they? Okay, aren't they? Your yard doesn't look like this, is it? Doesn't it? Or does it? Does it? I enjoy dancing. Don't you? Isn't you? Wasn't you? I enjoy dancing. Don't you? Isn't you? Wasn't you? I enjoy dancing. Don't you? Thank you very much for studying with me. See you next class.